important topic, which is what's going on in Canada. We touched on it, I think, for the past 2 episodes, and it's a pretty big story. So, I'll kind of hit on my side of it, that it's getting to a point where I think it's really going to start opening a lot more people's eyes, because I think that, especially for it being Canada, and you get so many people in that country that typically don't seem like they're very rebellious folks, usually type to get along and everything. And I do really feel like everything that's going on now is going to backfire. It's got to backfire. I mean, people are saying, I may not agree with the protesters.
I think it already has.
Yeah, I think people are going to start saying, this is crazy. We're going to take this many steps to try to just tell people they can't protest. And right up against, we're not even a year away from all the protests that were going on down in the United States, where people are burning buildings and destroying things, and these people are just out there.
That was for a worthy cause, though, Terry.
Well, I think that's the whole point, is what the definition of worthy cause is, where most people are seeing the hypocrisy here. That's fine.
Worthy cause?
The fact checkers.
Right. And who defines what's hate speech, and who defines, now all this talk of we can freeze bank accounts, we can take people's money, we can put you in jail, we can take your property, all because you're protesting. And now, so that's okay now, because it's a more worthy cause.
Well, and on top of that, I saw that it didn't matter when you gave money either. Like, you could have given money to the convoy, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and that was when it was completely peaceful. None of this stuff had happened, really. And now it's like, you gave $20 and you're now being doxxed for it.
Yeah.
And that's since it's progressed, in which I still don't see what the big...
Well, there was no violence. There was no actual action that said these things are...
Well, the violence started, yesterday?
And the violence is happening against the protesters.
Yeah.
It's not the other way around, that all of a sudden the protesters became violent. It's now the government is become violent with the protesters. You got people getting trampled by horses. That's not going to look good for Trudeau.
Was that death confirmed? Did that lady actually die, and has that been confirmed?
I haven't.
I'm not sure, but I have been seeing
about it if it was.
There's like a battle going on for the narrative of, okay, what you saw, it didn't actually really happen. Yes, there was horses that rode through, and they might have just nudged some people, but they didn't trample anybody. It's a battle for the narrative going on right now.
I don't know. I saw the video.
And that's the thing.
Video and there's
on the
pictures
people.
of it.
Brent, it's 1984. Don't believe your eyes.
Yeah. And you can carry it into all those things. You can carry it into January 6th, and why there's such a fight to let the videos out. If people really cared about transparency, then let everybody see. If it was as awful as everybody says it was, that's fine. I'm sure there was tons of people that did dumb things or were violent with police officers, and they should be sitting in jail. If you were trying to fight police officers or trying to injure people, then you should be prosecuted. But you can't have a reasonable conversation about that. People aren't saying prosecute those people, but maybe we're not getting the whole story. When people have seen gates getting open, you've seen cops holding doors open and allowing people to walk into the building. And nobody will explain that. Nobody will say this is what's going on. Nobody in the Capitol Police is addressing that behavior. Nobody from Congress or anybody in Nancy's world is there. And for Nancy and the House to be fighting the release of these documents, where there's all these, where Judicial Watch and everybody else that's filing for these, which should be public information, they can't get them. And Pelosi's claiming sovereign immunity to keep all of this stuff sealed. It's like anybody that looks at that says, well, why? What are you hiding?
Yeah, if you're really